Hello everyone, StrangeTemplar here. Welcome back to Sky Factory. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of work off camera, expanding our base a little bit here. I have tried to make things a little less cramped so you can actually see what's going on, and I've added a few new tricks and whistles, I guess, to our setup, and as you can see, it is mostly working. I have a sieve specified for dust, I got one for sand, and I got one for gravel, and they're all working independently of each other and going into our ME system that we have. So you can see all of the pulverized, broken, crushed, all of that stuff is getting imported directly into our inventory system, which we set up yesterday or last week or whatever, last episode. I have 10 crucibles generating lava for us. We have the tank. We have lava generators running over there, over here. We have basically as much power as we need right now. I also put water in the middle here so that these transfer nodes are generating cobble for us. And this cobble is coming through, getting stored directly into the deep storage unit, and then cobble is getting pulled out again from the deep storage unit and going into each of our pulverizers. So we have a pulverizer. This goes gravel, sand, dust into a sieve. This is gravel into a sieve. This is gravel to sand into a sieve. And all of these crossovers, as you can see, is basically for, gravel has a chance of making sand. So we transport the sand down here, and it gets a little convoluted. It took me a little bit to set up, but it works, and that's the important part. Then we have the leadstone energy conduits in back to power everything. So that is that. We still have our smeltery up and running, and we have a fair amount of ingots in here. I did put the gold and iron in here because we are going to be using a ton of that today, because today we are going to work on auto crafting, which is going to be pretty darn awesome. Once we get this set up, it's going to make our lives even easier than it already is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. For that, what we're going to need is we are going to need to make some applied energistics stuff. We are going to need to make a containment wall, and we're going to need 20 of these. So it does start taking up quite a bit of gold and iron and quartz if you have that. So this is for the very minimum. We're going to need 20 of these. Let's go ahead and get these made up. There we go. And we are also going to need to make some heat sinks, heat vents. There we go. So it's going to require a lot more iron ingots. We'll need to make some ME cables and these iron bars. So it looks like we don't have quite enough iron bars. Where's our iron at? Like I said, we are going to be using a ton of iron. We're going to be using a ton of gold and a lot of other stuff. But, you know, we have a fairly steady source of income for all of our ingots now. So it's really not going to be all that big of an issue. So heat vents again are made, and we're going to need 6 of these. So we have 6 heat vents, we have 20 containment walls, and the very last thing that we're going to need to make is a pattern provider. ME pattern provider. So this is going to get a little bit expensive because we're going to need storage cells, conversion matrices, and matrices, because grammar is important for me, and an advanced processor. So it is going to require at least 1 diamond to make, and this is an expandable system, so we can actually make more out of it if we want. And we're going to need 2 conversion matrices. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to speak today. We are going to need our advanced processor, which I already made off camera, and we are going to need to make 1 storage cell, and I think we have everything we need now. Oh, we are going to need the ever important crafting table. Okay, now we should be able to make that. We put the storage cell down below. the matrices on the sides, and we have ourselves a pattern provider. And now this is the bare minimum you need to get a automatic crafting system going. And I'm going to go ahead and set it over to the side here. We're going to just run cables over here because eventually it's going to take up this full space. But for now, we're going to start a little bit small. And now this is a multi-block structure that has to be at least 3 by 3. As you see, this is going to be a 3 by 3 structure. And it has to be filled. We have the containment walls as edges and corners. The sides in the middle are going to be heat vents. As you can see, we're going to put in all of these heat vents. And the middle has to be at least one pattern provider. And if we expand this, we could add more pattern providers. There are a couple other pieces that you can put in here, but pattern provider is the main one. Once we put in this heat vent, you'll see that it changes the edges to show that it's a valid structure. And if you right click on it now, you'll see this lovely interface. The ME Molecular Assembler Chamber. Pretty darn snazzy. And let's get ourselves some... Are we out of power? How are we... Oh. Wait. What? How are we out of lava? Are we really using that much lava over here? There's no way we're... No, lava. Lava. How is this not getting... Hello? What's going on here? Okay, so I figured out what was going on. We are finally using enough power over on that side that all of the lava was going over to those generators before coming over to this one. So all of this lava that was being generated was going elsewhere other than here. So I had to disconnect 2 of them. Hopefully that won't make too much of a difference over on that side. But for now, we have a little bit of lava coming in here. Looks like we're going to have to expand this a little bit more. Yeah, we're going to need more lava. Again. Yay. Okay, so that's working. We can go ahead and get that one broken down. And we're working again. Perfect. Okay, so we are going to need some ME cables. Like so. And we're going to need to make, I think, a couple more. And we are out of Fluix dust. So we can grab... I knew we were going to run out. So here's the nether quartz that we need. And let's make 6. Let's make some cables. That should make us 6. So we have 8. Perfect. And now we can just... No, wrong cable. Wrong cable. Now we can just run this over here like so, and it is connected. Now this does absolutely nothing for us quite yet, because the way this works is we can put patterns in here, which will basically tell the system this, this is how something is made. So if we want to, for example, make a crafting table, we can make a pattern that says 4 planks make a crafting table. So what we are going to need to do to make patterns is we are going to need to make a pattern encoder, which requires 1 more conversion matrix and a bunch of iron ingots and our crafting table. Everything requires crafting tables for some reason. Makes sense though, I guess. So let's make a crafting table. You're going to need to make a pattern encoder, which requires this. And we are out of Fluix dust again. I need to turn this back off. Oh, search. Okay. Pattern encoder. Let's do that. We'll make some more dust. And we should be able to make our matrix. Throw it in there. And we should be able to make a pattern encoder. Now, a pattern encoder is a self-sustained Let's turn off the rain. All right. So a pattern encoder is a self-contained system. It doesn't require any power or anything like that. It just works. Now, what we are going to need to do is make some blank patterns, which require glowstone dust, glass, Certus quartz, iron, all of that. Let's see how many we can make. We should be able to make a fair amount. I think iron... Oh, glass is what we're lacking. So we'll cook up some glass here. I have some sand sitting by. And if we put it into this one, the glass will just automatically get imported back in. But we can make some more glass here. Sand, not an issue. We have as much sand as we could possibly use. But what we do... So no. Clear that. Put the blank patterns up here. Put the recipe that we want to make over here. And then we hit encode. And so let's say, what do we want to be able to make? Let's say we want to make a crafting table, which requires planks. So let's take one plank out, and we can program it. We put the 2x2 planks, and you can see the recipe, it comes out here. So we say 4 planks makes a crafting table. Encode, just like that. Now, if we come in here, throw it in there, you'll see that it now shows a crafting table. If we come over here, if we do view craftable, it'll show a crafting table and it'll have the word craft underneath. So if we want to, we can come over here and we can craft as many crafting tables as we want. But for now, we want one crafting table. Once we hit begin, wait a second, and are we out of planks? Really? We cannot be out of planks. No. So, crafting. Oh, there it is. And now we have one. I had it listed as crafting only. If you have stored items, it shows 1. If you have craftable, it only shows the things that you can craft. If you have stored and craftable, it'll show how many you have. And if you have none, it'll give you the option to craft them. So that's what I had wrong. Okay, so now we have a crafting table. If we wanted to, we can make more patterns for basically everything that we want in life. We can make, what are we going to want to make? Let's make, and we're out of power again? Really? Oh, shoot. We're using more power than a single generator can make. We're just having problems with power today. Let's throw that in, and we should be good to go. There we go. Okay, hopefully it's getting a little bit of lava. Hopefully that will keep us going. Between episodes, I will go ahead and expand our lava generation again. But now let's say we want to be able to make iron, pulverized iron. We can make that, and, 4 of them will make the iron ore dust. Once we encode it, we can come in here, throw it in here, and now, if we go to craftable, we can now make iron ore dust, which doesn't really seem all that exciting, and honestly, it isn't all that exciting. But this is where I get excited. If we take our export bus that we made last episode, and we combine it with a basic processor, like so, a basic export bus plus a basic processor will create a precision export bus. We throw that on there, and now instead of exporting one item at a time, we can now export up to 8 different items into a slot. We can move a single item at a time, we can move stacks of items, or we can move a single item, and if it doesn't exist in the system, we can craft it. And that's the big part right there. So if we take some pulverized iron ore, and it should, let's see, we're going to need 4 of them. Come over here, take an iron ore dust. If we program that in, we should now see, once this runs out of sand, it's going to start importing iron ore dust. If we come over here, we have no iron ore dust in here at all, but we do have the option to craft it. If we come over here, it's coming in, and the iron, it's going down. It's getting created into an iron ore dust, and it's getting exported directly into our furnace, getting cooked into an ingot, and coming back into our system. So you'll see our iron ingots are going up, our pulverized iron ore is going down, and it is just going to run. So now what we can do is we can program all of our pulverized dusts into a pattern. So we can clear that. We can say, well, platinum, we'll make platinum dust. Oops, come over here, throw it in. We're going to need to make one, oops, not that. We're going to need to make one so we can program it into the export bus, like so. And then anytime any of the dusts show up, and we have 4 of them, we can just immediately make them into the dusts, break them into ingots, and throw it right back into the system. So what we're going to be doing over the next, between episodes is I'm going to set it up so that dusts get made here. The broken ones, all the different types are going to get exported into different furnaces, get made into ingots, and come back in. Now, there is a small downside in that these will only make 1 ingot per dust, whereas the smeltery will make 2 per dust. So we are losing a little bit in materials this way compared to others. But one of the issues that we have with the smeltery is that liquid metals will combine into different types of metals. So we have things like aluminum brass, which is a combination of aluminum and copper. We have stuff like electrum. We have stuff like electrum is gold and silver. We have invar, which is a combination of nickel and iron. And if those get imported into the smeltery at the same time, they're going to combine even while it's getting outputted, and it can jam our system. So there are ways around it. If we use like 2 different smelteries and we make sure that the metals that combine together go into different smelteries, we could do it that way. But I think this is just going to work. This is going to work just as well. So it, there's plenty of options for what we can do here. Let's see, silver ore dust. We can make copper, like so. And then because we have a steady stream of these things coming in, we'll never really have to worry about metals again, presumably. Of course, if we start going through some of these later challenges, we are going to be using quite a bit of these. So it is something that we're going to have to keep in mind, that we are probably going to have to continually increase our production as well as our creation and all of that good stuff. But it's going to work. Okay, we need some more patterns. So if we come over here, let's make 5 more for now. And we can do silver, encode it. We can make copper, encode it. We can make that and encode it. And right now you see there's nothing in there. Once we throw these in, the system just works because we have them programmed in here. We should see silver goes in, and it does go in order. So it'll try to do iron first, and then platinum, then silver, then copper, then lead. But I think we'll be able to cook them up faster than we generate them. So eventually it's just going to be sitting there and wait for everything. So perfect. We have that going. And this crafting station, like I said, it's going to fill up pretty darn quick. So what we can do is we can expand it. Like I said, the minimum is a 3x3. We can eventually make it into, say, a 7x7 and go as tall as we want, as wide as we want, as long as we want. As long as it's rectangular, all the sides are rectangular. You can't make it into like a stair-step pattern or anything like that. It has to be a perfect rectangle, and it'll just go. And it does, right now it does about 7 crafting steps per second. It does the technical specifications is it does 1 crafting operation every 3 ticks. So 6.6 crafting operations per second, since there are 20 ticks per second. But yeah, and that is just going to go. So like I said, we're going to expand on that. We are going to make some pretty darn cool things happen with that. But for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Next episode, we'll have more lava, so we don't have to worry about these power issues that we're having. And we're gonna do some pretty cool things. One of the challenges that we're gonna have to do is be able to create an octuple compressed cobblestone in less than an hour, and that's going to require about 43 million cobblestone. So we're not quite there yet. We're at just over 100,000. So eventually that'll be something that we have to do here with the molecular assembler chamber. But that is going to happen hopefully soon. We'll see. But yeah, for now, that's what we got. Like I said, I'll probably go ahead and set this up to do all the different metal types so that it'll just start flushing the system out of all these crushed, broken, and pulverized metals. And we'll have a bunch of ingots just sitting in here. So for now, oh my gosh, that's how you spell. For now, I'll leave you with this, and thank you as always for watching. I will see you guys next time, but until next time, don't be a stranger and take care.